Hello and welcome, smart viewers. Factory farms breed endless horrors, from the burning stench of filth to crowded, immobilizing confinement. Disease to mental breakdowns, farmed animals must bear the pain and distress 24 hours a day, all for the sake of human demand for meat. But the inhumane terror of industrial-scale meat production spread beyond the walls of factory farms to affect the very survival of our planet Earth. The major US-based newspaper published an article written by Zara Klein titled, "Is the Problem with Meat Simply Factory Farming?" on August 7, 2009.
The fact that industrial livestock production is worse than other forms of livestock production does not mean that meat is not a major contributor to global warming. It means that there are ways to make it a somewhat smaller contributor to global warming, but even that would be tricky. Cows are efficient at being cows. They are not very efficient at being food. When you grow an apple, the various inputs result in an apple tree and a lot of apples. But a cow has a lot of parts and does a lot of things that aren't particularly related to becoming hamburger. When you grow a steak, the various inputs first result in corn and grass and other types of food, and then they are made into feed. And then they go to a cow to help it develop bones and eyes and skin, and to help it breathe and move and live. Raising food to feed to a less efficient form of food doesn't maximize available resources.
A German study agrees. In an August 2008 article, Michelle Schiessel and Christian Schwegel wrote for Spiegel's online international newspaper on meat's contribution to global warming.
Thilo Bode, Chef der Verbraucherschutzorganisation Foodwatch, warnt, das Rind ist eine Klimabombe. Wie stark die Treibhausgase Methan, Lachgas und CO2 wirken, wollte Bode genau wissen. Am Montag dieser Woche stellt Foodwatch eine umfassende Studie über die Klimawirkungen der Landwirtschaft vor. Die erste, die zwischen konventioneller und ökologischer Anbauweise unterscheidet. Dabei berücksichtigten die Wissenschaftler vom Institut für ökologische Wirtschaftsforschung IÖW sowohl den CO2-Anfall bei der Produktion von Futtermitteln und Dünger, als auch den Flächenbedarf und die Erträge verschiedener Produktionsweisen. Das Resultat wird eingefleischte Liebhaber von geschmorten Ochsenbacken in Panik versetzen. Denn selbst wenn alle Betriebe und Methoden, ob bio oder nicht, klimatechnisch optimiert werden, der zentrale Weg, die Landwirtschaft klimaverträglicher zu machen, führt über eine drastische Reduktion von Rindfleisch, folgert Foodwatch.
A few months after this article, Agence France-Presse released a report headlined, "Beef is the Hummer of all foods." It appeared in China Daily on February 17, 2009.
Given the projected doubling of global meat production by 2050, we're going to have to cut our emissions by half just to maintain current levels, Pelletier said. Technical improvements are not going to get us there. That's why changing the kinds of food people eat is so important, said Chris Webber, a professor of civil and environmental engineering at Carnegie Mellon University in Pennsylvania. Food is the third largest contributor to the average US household's carbon footprint after driving and utilities, and in Europe, where people drive less and have smaller homes, it has an even greater impact. Food is of particular importance to a consumer's impact because it's a daily choice that is, at least in theory, easy to change, Weber said. Buying local meat produce will not have nearly the same effect, he cautioned.
Indeed, the meat industry is depleting our Earth of its precious resources as we face the looming threat of world hunger. The Stockholm International Water Institute states, with about 840 million people undernourished, are lacking in secure food supply today, and another 2 billion or more people by 2025. Feeding the world's growing population and finding the water to grow the food continues to be a basic and sizable challenge. This challenge was the subject of an August 2004 story by Alex Kirby on BBC News. Hungry world must eat less meat.
Anders Bentel, Stockholm International Water Institute's executive director, told BBC News Online, "The basic problem is that food is the main global consumer of water, with irrigation taking 70% or more of all the water we use, apart from huge volumes of rainwater. The bottom line is that we've got to do something to reduce the amount of water we devote to growing food today. Animals fed on grain, and also those which rely on grazing, need far more water than grain crops. Buntel said, "The transport of virtual water is huge. Australians were astonished to find that although their country is short of water, they are net exporters of water in the form of meat."
Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. We'll be right back.